Look, I get it. You know, no Trump fan, all the rest of it here, but just as a bloke who, if apparently the problem with Trump was that all of these norms were being broken, what exactly is the justification for the removal of a bloke who's already left?
Well, I'm not sure Barnaby has been following the detail of the debate in the US, but the point to him being impeached is it means that he cannot run again for President of the United States. And the reason
but isn't that up to the people to decide?
Run for President of the United States again
called democracy,
is because
Nicholas.
He was the worst president that country has ever had.
Sure,
but don't you think the American people can make that decision?
If he was,
don't you think the American people can make that decision?
In terms of the actual claims against him and whether they justify impeachment, I think that's incontrovertible. I mean, he led an act of insurrection against the country which he was the commander-in-chief of. That was probably the most irresponsible act of a global leader that we have ever seen.
You trust the Congress more than the American people to make that decision.
The weight of the case is incontrovertible, and the reason for doing it in terms of practical outcomes going forward is unarguable again, because the worst thing we want is for this guy to come back, because I actually agree with Barnaby on one point, and that is...
Well, let the American people decide that.
America, but
let
he
the
made
American
country
people decide
weaker,
that.
not stronger.
Nicholas, this is what was called a rant. Can someone tell the news.com kidlets? This is what we heard just then. That's a rant. Not what Tony Abbott did. That wasn't a rant. What we just heard, absolute hysterical falsehoods stated as fact. That's a rant. And I think you could do a very nice clickbait article around that.
Okay, well, that's all the name calling. You've got a substantive argument.
I'm going to make a substantive argument.
If what Nick says is right about the evilness of Trump, if what Nick says is right, then surely you would give that right to the American people to make their decision if that decision was to come about again.
You can't
or you're
trust
saying
the American people.
Or the American people can't be trusted. All the American people are dopey. Only the Congress can make that decision, because that's where the left always goes. In the end, it's very Orwellian. It's like the only people who have the righteous position to make a judgment on power is the left themselves, and they, of course, bring in the left.
Well, Rita, I think Nick is hiding in plain sight here that he doesn't believe that Joe Biden got 80 million votes because the American people spoke, didn't they?
Nicholas's... I didn't think Nicholas was one of these election truthers who thought the election was fixed. But he's come out with this bold argument that the people can't be trusted, that Donald Trump could run and win again, and you can't have that happen because, God forbid, we allow democracy to take place. And anybody who uses the words coup or insurrection to describe what happened at the Capitol, you can't take those arguments seriously. This is first-year art student nonsense. And what Trump said, what he actually said was people will march to the Capitol and protest peacefully. Now, if that is incitement to a coup, then I'm sorry, everyone on this panel is probably guilty of inciting a coup by something we've said. That is not incitement. I mean, we saw a summer of rioting, we saw absolute destruction, we saw the left either ignore it or rationalise it. And you know what? Violence begets violence. When you allow that kind of conduct, don't be surprised if your ideological opponents also behaved in that horrendous manner. I don't think it's difficult to unequivocally condemn violence and rioting. And I saw every Conservative commentator condemn what happened at the Capitol, but I didn't see leftist commentators condemn what we saw even on Inauguration Day by leftist protesters. We haven't seen them condemn all the BLM violence, all the Antifa violence. No, that's fine. That's called mainly peaceful protesting. Give me a bloody break.